He has 2 Super Bowl rings, a Super Bowl MVP, 7th all-time in passing yards, but he has 0 league MVPs and 0 first all-team selections. Where does he actually belong? Today we're talking about Steelers legend, Big Ben Roethlisberger, and does he belong in the top 10 NFL quarterbacks of all time? And if not, where does he rank? Today I'm going to present a case of why Big Ben should be a top 10 quarterback of all time, and a case of why he should not be. But first, let's figure out a top 10. I asked AI to give me the most popular top 10 among the internet, and here's what it came up with. At 1, of course, Tom Brady. At 2, Joe Montana. 3, Peyton Manning. 4, the young buck Patrick Mahomes. 5, Aaron Rodgers. 6, Dan Marino. 7, John Elway. 8, Drew Brees. 9, Brett Favre. And 10, Steve Young. So now that we have a top 10 to go off of, let's see, why would Big Ben pass any of these guys? What does he have that makes him better than any of the 10 guys I just named? I opened the video with telling you that he has 2 Super Bowl rings and a Super Bowl MVP, and he's top 7 in passing yards. But he's also 9th in touchdowns. He's 8th in completed passes. He has the 12th highest win percentage among quarterbacks in NFL history. He is tied for the 3rd most game-winning drives. Speaking of game-winning drives, he has one of, if not the most electric game-winning drives against the Arizona Cardinals in Super Bowl 43. Ben Roethlisberger took over, and I believe week 3 or 4, I want to say 3, his rookie season. That season, he went 13-0 as a starting quarterback. And with those 13 wins, he led the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Super Bowl and became the youngest Super Bowl MVP in NFL history. He has a career of 13 playoff wins. And in 2018, at the age of 36, he threw for 5,129 passing yards. So what do these stats tell us about Ben Roethlisberger? He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, done it twice. That's important in a top 10 debate. He's top 10 in yards, completions, and touchdowns. If you're going to be a top 10 quarterback, you got to be top 10 in at least 2 of those, and he's a top 10 in 3. 12th in all-time win percentage means the guy's winning football games, and one of the toughest divisions in the NFL as well. The game-winning drives tell us he's one of the clutchest quarterbacks in the history of the game, and that's important. When you have these debates, oftentimes you want to say, if I'm down by 1 score in the 4th quarter, who do I want throwing the football? Being 3rd in game-winning drives makes you say, hey, that's a guy I might want throwing the football. 13 wins in the NFL playoffs tell us that he was consistently making it there, and not only making it there, but winning games. The 5,000 yards in 2018 at the age of 36 tell us that this guy was playing at a decent to high level for a long time. Now, the 13-0 in the rookie season and the youngest Super Bowl MVP ever, on paper, look great, but they bring us into our case of why he is not a top 10 quarterback of all time. And the first reason is, in that Super Bowl where he won the Super Bowl MVP, he did not have a good game at all. Roethlisberger went 9 of 21 for just 123 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, with a passer rating of 22.6. Not a great performance from the guy. He was able to win that Super Bowl because of my second reason here. He almost always played with a legendary defense, except for, maybe a 4 to 5 year span in the mid-2010s. Mid to late 2010s, where the Steelers did not have a great defense. But for the most part of his career, he played with great defenses and great head coaches. So, the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl MVP, the first one, that is, they don't hold as much weight as, you would think they do on paper. Does not have a single MVP or not even a single MVP vote. When you look at the top 10, I think most or not all of these guys have at least one MVP, and Ben not having even a single MVP vote is, it's a harsh hit to the resume. Along with no MVP votes, he has 0 first-team All-Pro selections. Those, you would think they'll go hand in hand, so that makes sense. He has 14 seasons with at least 10 interceptions. That is 10 interceptions or more. The guy turned over the ball a good bit. One of the biggest hits, in my own opinion, is the fact that he was not able to win a Super Bowl with an offense of Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Now, it's a team sport, so, you can't entirely blame that on him. But when you look at his resume, that's something that's going to stand out to you. So it's worth a mention. I'm not putting that on Big Ben. You know, the defense wasn't great in that era. You know, me and you both have opinions on Mike Tomlin, but that's something we have to mention. And the final reason is the competition in the top 10. As we saw on that list, you know, it's a star-studded cast. You know, Brady, Montana, Manning, Mahomes, Rodgers, Marino, Elway, Breeze, Favre, and Young. So, with the pros and cons, or the yeses and nos, whatever you want to call it, does Big Ben deserve to be in the conversation at least? With everything that I presented today and everything we've gone over, I think Big Ben does deserve to at least have the conversation. Can he be a top 10 quarterback? So since we're having the conversation, is Big Ben a top 10 quarterback? Here's my top 10. You see, very similar to the list I showed you earlier, but that 10 spot is empty, and there's a name missing from the original list. While I do believe 9 of the original 10 are definitively better than Ben Roethlisberger, Brett Favre versus Ben Roethlisberger is a debate we need to have right now. Ben has the rings and Favre has the MVPs, but later on in this debate, we're going to look at one devastating stat that you probably didn't know, but will probably affect the way that you see Brett Favre's clutch gene, as they used to call it. So let's see, who deserves it more? Roethlisberger or Favre? Big Ben has the better postseason play. Brett Favre has 3 MVPs. Big Ben has a better touchdown to interception ratio all time. Brett Favre has 3 first-team All-Pro selections. Brett Favre also never had a legendary defense, nor did he have an Antonio Brown or a Le'Veon Bell. He did have 1 year with Adrian Peterson, so we're going to say he didn't have as many years with Adrian Peterson as Big Ben did with Le'Veon Bell, so that doesn't count. Or at least not to this argument. Big Ben was playing in an era with Brady, Rodgers, Breeze, and Mahomes, while Favre was playing with Steve Young, John Elway, and Dan Marino. The stat I mentioned earlier is one I want to end this conversation with. While Big Ben is top 3 in game-winning drives and fourth quarter comebacks, Brett Favre has the most interceptions while trailing in the fourth quarter, with 53 all time by any quarterback ever. 53 interceptions in the fourth quarter while trailing. At the end of the day, this is a stats versus accolades debate. Favre gave you an MVP ceiling, but he also gave you a catastrophic floor. Ben gave you ice-cold stability when the stadium was the loudest. To decide that number 10 spot, I ask one question. If you're in the Super Bowl, fourth quarter, game on the line, are you putting in Big Ben, or are you calling for Brett Favre? Me personally, I'm taking Big Ben Roethlisberger, meaning he fills in that 10 spot. Answering the question, is Big Ben a top 10 quarterback of all time? Yes, I do believe he is. Like I said just a minute ago, it comes down to stats versus accolades. If you're someone who values the accolades more, then you probably like Favre. But if you're someone who's looking at the statistics and looking at their careers side by side, you'll probably take Big Ben. I favor statistics personally, so I think Big Ben does hit that 10 spot. But let me know what you think. If you had a game tomorrow and you wanted to win, who are you calling? Are you calling Big Ben or are you calling Brett Favre? That's all I got for you guys, but I do appreciate you watching. If you disagree with me, let me know. If you agree with me, please let me know. I'd love to hear that. But like I said, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.